Hi everybody, this is Dr. Jobin Lee from Tooth Heaven. I'm here to give you some more facts and myths and about things in dentistry. One of the most common things that I have that I get on a weekly basis is wisdom teeth. So there are certain myths that I like to debunk and certain facts that I like to put out there so that you know how to differentiate between the myths and the facts. The first common myth that I get is people ask me, do I have wisdom teeth? Do I need to have them out? Well, the answer is yes and no. I suppose most times, as a general thumb, it's always better to keep all your teeth, including wisdom teeth. And in Tooth Heaven, in fact, not just in Tooth Heaven, in fact, there are studies that shows that there are 4 criteria as to why and when do wisdom teeth need to come out. The first being mesial impaction, which mesial impaction means if the wisdom tooth is coming out forward and pushing forward onto the teeth next to it, kind of like this little video, this little picture here. It looks like that, Now you can see how it's pushing forward, and in things like that, if it's pushing forward, it may cause issues like, it might eat into the tooth next door, it might cause infection. And again, depending on if it's inside the bone or outside the bone, because inside the gums or outside the gums. Now, if it's inside the gums, it's okay. Then it's covered by the gums, it's protected. But if it's exposed, then you're more likely to get some sort of discomfort there. Now, another criteria is if you get pain or swelling for more than 2 times a year generally, and if pain or swelling keeps occurring on a yearly basis or pretty much on a weekly basis or monthly basis, then you should really consider getting it out. Another one of the common reasons why wisdom teeth come out is if it's hard to clean. So if it's hard to get your toothbrush right up the back and really brush everything out, and it's just a matter of time before holes start forming on that tooth and then causing all sorts of mess in there. And the fourth reason being, as I mentioned, if it's hard to clean and it turns into holes or even infections, then maybe that's again the indication to get your wisdom teeth out. So no, I don't think it is true that you should, once you have wisdom teeth, you have them out. Not really. I think as long as you fall under those 4 criteria that I mentioned about, then it's more recommended to have them out then. Another myth that I get is some people say that wisdom teeth causes my teeth to move. Now, I guess I can see where they're coming from. If the teeth are pushing forward like that, it may push into the teeth in front of it and then cause it to go all crooked. There's some basis to that, but the question that I'll probably ask beforehand is, why do teeth move in the first place? Look, there are many factors to that, and it could be gum issues, could be something called mesial drifting, where with gravity it pushes teeth forward, and there are genetic factors, there are bone factors, and all sorts of other factors as well. But one thing's for sure is this argument about wisdom teeth causing teeth to move is, to be honest, it's very controversial and it's debatable at this stage. In fact, I've seen a few folks that come through our doors, and even personally our staff member who actually has had her wisdom teeth taken out before her braces. So if you think about it, she had her wisdom teeth taken out, her teeth were straight, and then years later, her teeth still move. So how can you argue that wisdom teeth actually then cause teeth to move? Because there are other factors, like I mentioned earlier, to why teeth move in the first place. But one thing's for sure is that retainers are for life. So they are for life. Now, so which means how long to wear them for? You wear them for as long as you want your teeth to be straight. So it's a myth that, in my opinion, look, I could be wrong, but I think I'm right, is that it's a myth that wisdom teeth causes teeth to move. Another one I get is, some people say, can you die from taking out wisdom teeth? Well, probably the question I'll probably ask back is, where did you have your wisdom teeth taken out, and who do you know someone personally that actually has had that? Well, if you're in Australia and you had teeth taken out here, we are generally across the board, all dentists in Victoria, well, not Victoria, but across Australia, we're very strict in terms of hygiene and very strict in terms of there's certain criteria, certain protocols you have to abide by before we take any teeth out. But if you go to say a third world country where you walk into this place and they just say, yeah, open your mouth, I'll get a pair of pliers that you see has been sitting in there, sitting on the table for like hours, and just go ahead and take the tooth out. Of course, then the question you're gonna ask is, well, is it clean in the first place? There might be some bugs on it, and then when you pull it out, it might introduce it in there. And then the second thing I ask is, what you just open a mouth and pull it out without knowing what's underneath the gums? That's why dentists in Australia in general, I'm sure in first world countries as well, in most first world countries, is that they will take x-rays or maybe certain special scans to work out what they're up against before they actually jump in there and yank the tooth out, so that the risk is absolutely minimal. Now, I wouldn't say it's impossible, but I say it's almost unheard of in most countries, especially in Australia, that you can die from wisdom teeth being pulled out. So I think it's a myth there. Another one that I get is, it's extremely hard to pull wisdom teeth out. Well, I guess there are many factors, just like how, one would say, how long is a piece of string? You don't know, right? Everyone is different. Some it depends on the position of the teeth, depending on the roots, depending on how easy it is to get in there, depending on the build of the person, even depending on how strong the bone is. And that's just some of the factors out there. But generally, the guys at Tooth Heaven, they're pretty good at pulling teeth out, but there are also really good people out there that have never had any issues pulling wisdom teeth out at all. But as a general of thumb, the top wisdom teeth are always easier to take out than the bottom ones in general. Now, the other common myth that I get is after having wisdom teeth taken out, my mouth will be swollen for weeks, if not months. Well, again, it really depends on the person, on what their comorbidities are, like what they have, pre-existing conditions, bleeding issues, heart problems, there's all sorts of other issues. But generally for a healthy person, swelling can last for days to sometimes weeks. I've never heard going for months. But of course, how much swelling you get really depends on again, how easy it is to take a tooth out, and again, what are the pre-existing conditions do you have at the moment. But these days there are really good medications out there, like ibuprofen, paracetamol, and some sort of steroids that will help manage the swelling there. So it won't be so it's a myth. You won't be swollen for months. It may take a few days, sometimes up to a few weeks, but it won't be for months. And things are easily managed with medications these days. Now, the last myth that I get on a weekly basis is, if I take my wisdom tooth out, and then there's a hole there, does that mean that I'm going to have a hole for life? It's no laugh, I get that sometimes. But I guess then I usually ask the question again, like, if you get a cut in your hand, does that mean that you're going to have that cut that doesn't close up for months and months and months on end? No, that's not true. It will heal over, and the body's a remarkable thing. It will heal over, and just like your jawbone, once you have the tooth taken out, the bone will close up over it, and you feel, over the coming weeks to maybe sometimes up to 3 months, it will just heal right over, and you'll just feel this nice smooth ledge over. Now, I guess, that's a myth that you will always have a hole after you have a wisdom tooth taken out. So I guess, I hope this information has helped you in some way or form. And if you've got any questions, obviously seek the help of your local professional. But otherwise, until the next time again, I hope to see you soon, and take care. Bye now. Hey there. If what we just spoke about speaks to you or someone you might know of, and you'd like to find out more, we're more than happy to have a chat with you just by clicking on the links below. You can also contact us directly on our phone number on the number listed on this side. And if you don't already know about this, we do accept online appointments as well. and you can book yourself online from our own website. This video is just part of what we believe in Tooth Heaven, which is changing lives one tooth at a time. Until the next time we see you, thank you for watching and take care. Bye now.